All of the guys have done a great job of coming in and working extremely hard and picking up the offense. Jake Smith's been a guy that I think has had a really good fall camp. Tariq Black as well. He's come in and really taken over, taken ownership of learning the offense and coming in every single day with a great mindset.
How about the in-state rivals?
Go ahead, Brian.
Okay. Sam, what's up? Now that you know more about Mike, just how would you describe Coach Yurcich's tone, demeanor, and how he kind of handles the room and the offense?
Coach Yurcich he's extremely professional. He is an incredible coach as well, really knowledgeable, does a great job of having everybody focused and attentive to details every single day. And I really appreciate the way that he's coached me. I think it'd be very easy for a new guy to come in after me being here 3 years and maybe take his foot off the gas, but he has not done that at all. And I really appreciate that. He's coached me extremely hard as well as the entire offense.
Dennis, you're up.
Sam, how different does this game week feel? What are you most anxious about, if anything, as you're going through all this?
I still have my fingers crossed that we get to Saturday. I know how quickly things can pop up. So I guess that's a little shaky there. But no, I think everything, we're just very grateful to be able to play on Saturday. Everything feels pretty normal from a football standpoint, and we're just excited to be able to get back out there and play somebody other than ourselves.
Rob, go ahead.
Sam, how much changed with Mike as you guys have tried to? I'm sure there are things that you wanted to keep similar so that you were pretty comfortable coming back, for a fourth season, and then how much is different in working with Mike?
I would say probably about 50-50 in the sense that, he's done a great job of just kind of having an open dialogue and, including my opinion. And I really appreciate that for keeping things that I'm comfortable with. And then also he's brought some really, really good concepts that he's run in the past and learned from his previous experiences. So I'm really excited for the game plan and everything that he's put together with his schemes, and then also some of the old stuff that we've run as well.
Chip, go ahead.
Hey, Sam. Tom mentioned one of the things Yurcich has brought in is some new route concepts. For the layman, what does that mean? And what does it mean to you? What does it mean to the offense?
I think the new schemes and the new route concepts, they are elite. They're very well thought out, and they have answers to everything. That's what I like about them. They're there's a mix of pure progression, coverage-based stuff, but really smart concepts and things that have had great success in the past.
Joe, go ahead.
Sam, I was just wondering, after having Derek protect your right side for so long and working with Zach Shackelford for all 3 years, what's it like working with Derek under center and having a different guy there in front of you?
No, obviously both those guys are incredible centers. Derek's done a great job of coming in and picking up right off and trying to learn everything that he can. The biggest difference is Derek has a little bit longer arms, so when we go under center, I just have to be a little bit further back, and that's really the only difference. He's done a great job of coming in and picking up center really well.
Anwar, you're up.
Sam, it seems like you got 3 pretty good running backs, in that room behind you. Can you just maybe give me a breakdown of each of those 3 guys and what you kind of like about all of them?
Absolutely. Keontae, obviously an incredible athlete. He's one cut, make you miss type guy, and he's done a great job of continuing to develop from last year. And obviously he's had a lot of experience playing college football. Roshan, love the way that guy works, love the way he carries the ball. he's never down. His legs are always moving, and he runs with a great mentality, and I think it really sparks our offense, and has a tough mentality about him. And then Bijan is obviously an incredible talent. He's a guy that, if he gets in the open field, watch out. And even if he's not in the open field, he's like a pinball bouncing around, really hard to bring him down, super strong at such a young age, and has a lot of versatility. I'm really excited for all three of those guys.
Mike, you're up.
Sam, this is your 4th year. You've been through a lot, trials and tribulations, ups and downs. What are you looking forward to the most heading into what seems to be your senior year? Although they say you can come back if you want to, but this seems to be your senior year.
Yeah, obviously, this football season is a lot different than previous ones that I've been here. I hope that this year can bring back a sense of normalcy to America, show people that, we're still a very strong country. I know it's been very hard with everything going on, being at home, not being able to return to normal life. But I also hope that college football and our team can show America what happens when people from different backgrounds come together for one goal, and shows people, we're no different. And as a team and with love and everything that a team has, you can accomplish really cool things.
Steve, you have a question?
Hey, Sam. You guys been in camp an extra 2 weeks. I know you're tired of hitting on each other, playing against each other. Talk about what this game means to the team as a whole. What are you trying to get out of it? I know you talked about how excited you are about getting out on the field, but, it's been a long time since you guys been on the field together, Sam.
Absolutely, no doubt. I think we're all really excited to be able to play somebody else. We've been going against each other for a long time and making each other better, but now we want to play somebody different and have an opportunity to go out and play a great opponent and get better. We realize that every single day, every single game, we got to continue to develop and continue to improve in order to achieve the things that we want to achieve. So we're just excited to get back out there and be able to play the game that we love against somebody other than ourselves.
Jake, go ahead.
Sam, as a leader of this team and for the other leaders on this team as well, what's your guys' message to the team as a whole about not slacking off with these COVID protocols once the season starts? You do all this work in the offseason to get to this point, and now you're at the season, and you can't really stop with those guidelines.
I think just stressing the importance of what could happen if one person were to slip up on the protocols or maybe go out when they shouldn't have and bring it back to the team. I think that luckily for us, we haven't set the example of what that looks like. I think there's some other teams that have shown what can happen if a few guys on the team have positive cases. So I think just staying consistent and keeping our head down. I think it's also a great way to keep guys focused on continuing to get better, because you can't take your foot off the gas with the virus, and you also can't take your foot off during the season with improvement.
Chuck, go ahead.
Yeah, Sam, I apologize if you've got the variation of this question. I was a little late to the party here, but your first 3 years at Texas, and even before then, Oklahoma's won the Big 12, going on 5 straight now. You guys came close to dethroning them 2 years ago. Okay, to knock off Oklahoma. Have you seen kind of a common thread on that? And how important, I guess, Tom said it kind of grated on him as a Texas guy to see Oklahoma keep winning. Does it grate on you?
Well, I really enjoy competing against Oklahoma. Obviously, the last 3 years, they've been a team that's made the CFP, and it's an incredible rivalry. They always have really well coached, obviously great athletes. So I think for us, just continuing to develop and understand how important that game is. Obviously, if you want to make it to the CFP, you got to beat them, and so just continuing to get better and understanding we have to get better every single day, because they're going to be a really good football team year in and year out.
Hey, Chris, go ahead.
Yeah, Sam, we've seen some teams have some really unique, creative ways of keeping people safe from not tackling, not using the locker rooms. Is there anything that you guys have done in practice through meetings to keep socially distanced?
Yeah, well, we always have our masks on. There's never a time, besides when you have your helmet on, that you shouldn't have your mask on. And so that's really in meetings, around the facility, everywhere. We all have masks on. And then, everything's really thought out, with touching things and keeping your hands sanitized and keeping a social distance between spacing in team meeting rooms or in meeting rooms, and everything, really, stretch lines, things like that. So we're just really thankful that Texas has done such a great job of thinking out all the minute details that would be so easy to miss. But they've done a great job of thinking everything out and protecting us in that sense.
Travis, you're up.
Sam, with all of the things that are different about this season, I got to imagine most falls you're pretty busy with football. That kind of consumes your life. So is your daily life honestly that much different right now?
Honestly, no. The only thing that's changed, I actually only have one class left to graduate. So I'm only in one class this semester, which is awesome. And the rest of the time that I normally would have spent in other classes, I'm spending on football and taking care of my body. So I think everything feels pretty normal, minus wearing a face mask everywhere. I'm being up at the facility pretty much all day and constantly game planning and looking at ways that we can be great on Saturdays.
We got time for the 3 last questions in the queue. Go ahead, Dennis.
We keep asking you how much you're going to miss 100,000 screaming fans, but given the whole goal of how focused you are to keep this season moving, is a cap right now? Do you see the benefit of maybe just having 25 grand in the stands?
That is a great question. I don't know what that procedure looks like. I know that for us, the way that we can eliminate contact and eliminate the virus is what we can control off the field. Obviously we're going to miss having a full capacity, but I think that the doctors and administration here have the best intention in mind, and they're going to do what the best thing is for the university.
Time for 2 last ones. Go ahead, Chip.
Sam, do you feel like this is a Texas team that can win the Big 12?
I think that we have a great opportunity to continue to get better every single day. Obviously, there's a lot of different things that can come up during the season, and whether that be injury or now especially with the virus. So it's a team that I'm very confident in and I'm really excited about. I think that we have a lot of returning guys that are very talented, have experience, really everything that you need. So it's just going to be about continuing to get better every single day, understanding what our goal is. Our goal is not to win 1 or 2 games. Our goal is to try to win them all, and keeping that mentality so we continue to improve. And I think that we got the tools to do that.
Last one. Go ahead, Brian.
Sam, whether you like it or not, you are the face of the program. And this summer has been very interesting for a lot of guys in that room, a lot of emotions, but I guarantee you there's players in there who probably feel the opposite of that. How do you manage the room? How do you manage balance what everyone's feeling? Because everyone is looking at you to sort of speak for the group when it comes to social issues and whatnot.
The biggest thing for me with everything going on has been just listen. And you hear that so much, the best leaders listen. And so I've been trying to do that and understanding, I know that I cannot feel every emotion that every single guy on the team can feel. But I can listen, and I can say, your opinion absolutely matters. And I hear and have your back on whatever that may be. So I think for me, just listening and trying to come up with a mood or emotion for the team and then address it from there, because I do understand the importance of making a decision as a team. The team should always come before individuals, and if we hear guys out and we can come to a common underlying theme, then we can address that as a team together and move forward together.
Chris, tell us about Chris Ash, since he coaches your position, help us and Longhorn Nation get to know this guy, what he's like, how he coaches you, anything that, you already know or hear in your, every time you fall asleep at night, you hear his voice saying stuff like that.
First and foremost, Coach Ash, he's a great coach, even better person. The things that he teach and preach, it aligns with his actions and how he conduct himself on an everyday basis. And a guy like that, you can do nothing but, have respect for, and that's how you build trust. So he's definitely a guy that we have a lot of respect for, and that's taught us a lot.
Jeff, go ahead.
Chris, I know Coach Ash really has bought into the rugby tackling method in his career, and I know that's something that's new for you guys. How different is tackling being taught now, and how much did that take you guys getting used to the way Coach Ash wants to teach tackling?
I would say it's just detailed up a little bit. His rugby style of tackling that he came in and have us doing, a lot of guys, it took us a while to get accustomed to. Like, no, you got to finish with your hands down. It's certain details. It's certain details to the tackling method, and I feel like he showed us how it improves tackling. It's always a method to the madness, and he shows us proof, and we see it, and you see the difference that it makes, and we take it and roll with it.
Mike, you had a question?
Yeah, Chris, there's been a lot of competition on that back end, a lot of competition within the team. Can you kind of tell us what the competition has been like in the secondary? I mean, obviously you made the step and now you're getting in that starting lineup, but it seems like everyone has stepped up their game.
Yeah, I feel like guys, it's kind of clicking for guys now. Guys are starting to realize, like, hey, this time here, it does go by fast. And, with everything going on, it's like, hey, man, you never know when your opportunities are going to be snatched from underneath you. So when you do get one, you got to go out there and take full advantage of it every time you get one. So I feel like that's kind of how the guys approach practice and approach competition, and that's how it got to be, and that's how it was in fall camp, and that's how it was, through like OTAs and things like that. Like, guys are competing for spots. Like, it's brothers on the field. It's brotherly competition. It's no toxic competition where guys are, it's hurting relationships on the team and things like that. It's brotherly competition, but guys understand, like, hey, you got a job to do. I got a job to do. So may the best man win the job.
Brian, go ahead.
Chris, after revamped defense, you guys are excited about everything, but I just want to ask you more of a bigger picture question. Two major leagues aren't playing this year. Oklahoma's going to have a new starting quarterback. Just what's the mood in the room about y'all's chances of competing for and winning the Big 12?
Me personally, and I kind of feel like the guys feel like this too. Just go out there and play, no matter what's going on or who playing or who not playing. It's time to go. It's time to go. None of that even matter right now. You line up. It's time to go. It's time to get it on.
Margie, you have a question?
Yep. Hi, Chris. So based on what we've seen this summer from Texas fans reacting to anthem protests and the Eyes of Texas, do you feel like your teammates and yourself will be prepared for what some of those maybe negative reactions might be on Saturday?
Absolutely. Because at the end of the day, we know and we've seen that we got one another, and that we don't need everybody. We just need the right people, and we feel like we got the right people, and we're a focused group, we're a focused bunch, and we know what we can do amongst ourselves. So it's kind of like, hey, to whatever anybody else got to say.
Danny, go ahead.
Chris, what's kind of your mindset personally as you go into your fifth year, finally get into that senior year, and Secondly, are the youngsters treating you like the old man on the team, or are Denzel and Tope kind of getting that too?
That's a funny question. It's kind of like, you got the young guys who try to test the old man out to see if he still got it. They try to call me old man, but I told them, don't call me that, call me OG. I still get it on. We ready. I'm ready, and I feel like I feel at my best, mentally, physically, and I'm ready to roll.
Kirk, you're up.
Yeah, Chris, how would you evaluate wide receiver Tariq Black, and who is the hardest teammate wide receiver for you to cover?
Tariq Black, he's a well put together receiver, pretty long guy, wide frame, great hands, good route running. I've lined up against him in fall camp. We got a few reps at each other, and he's gonna be all right. Tyreek's gonna be all right. And as far as like the hardest receiver to cover, I'd probably say Jake. He's so shifty. He can change speeds, and he's quick in and out of his cuts, and definitely Jake Smith. He's one of the tougher guys on the team to cover in the slot.
Jake, you're up.
Chris, this has been an exhausting offseason in a lot of different ways for a lot of guys on this team. How relieved are you that the season is finally here, and are you using it as an opportunity to kind of take your mind off of everything else going on, or is that not exactly what you want this season to represent?
It kind of feels like, even though the season is starting, it kind of feels like everything is kind of still there. It doesn't feel like doesn't feel like things went away. And I feel like as a team, as a team and myself, we're able to now compartmentalize and understand that these things are going away. The outside things that's going on, they're not going to go away. We just have to figure out a way to deal with them and still get the job done. So I feel like we've done our best. We've done our best as a team to do that, and I feel like we're gonna keep working and trying to do that, continuing trying to do that.
And a quick follow-up really quick. DeMarvion the other day tweeted about looking for activists in Austin to volunteer with. Do you know if he found anyone, and is that something that you've considered doing in your free time this season as well?
I haven't. I'm not sure if he's found any. DeMarvion, that's my guy, and I know what he values. I know what he represents. I know what he stands for. So, if that's something he want to do, then I'm all in. I'm all behind him for it. And I'm sure his teammates respect him well enough to they're good. They have his back as well.
Chip, go ahead.
Chris, how hungry are you, and how hungry is this team to win a Big 12 title? Is this the team to do it?
I don't even think a buffet enough food. I feel like, man, I can't. The hunger level is through the roof. It's through the roof. We know what's in front of us. We know what we got, and I believe it's the team.
We got time for the three last ones in queue. Go ahead, Marcus.
Yeah, Chris. So Coach Herman talked the other day about the decision to have a patch on the jersey with some kind of message. I'm just curious, how was the decision made to have like one unified message? Like, how did y'all come to that decision to have one unified message? And what's the decision-making process for what that message will be?
I feel like I know we'll meet as leaders on the team. We'll meet as leaders. We'll have a leadership council meeting, and we'll. It's kind of like the guys who's respected by their peers and who's been given the okay by basically the underbosses, which are the younger guys on the team, given the okay, like, okay, these are the group of guys who make decisions for this team. Like, these are the trusted guys who make decisions for this team. So we're gonna meet and we're gonna come up with something, come up with a word or a phrase, you know, that's gonna represent the patch.
Jeff.
Hey, Chris, I just want to go back to the tackling aspect real quick. You know, when you guys started learning the rugby tackling method, how different is that than things you've done in the past? And, you know, do you go back and compare like what you guys have done in camp to film last year, or is it just, hey, you know, new staff just completely wipe the slate clean and starting anew?
Well, I wouldn't say that you completely wipe the slate clean, because you always want to compare the two. Like myself, like during fall camp, like I watched my film 2 fall camps ago, and even last year's fall camp, and I compared the film. I compared this year's camp to those camps. Seeing myself on film, and it's like, man, who was that in my jersey? You know, and it's like the tackling method Coach Ash came and taught us. Like we watching it on film. It's like he like, hey, that's not good enough. Wait, what you mean it's not good enough, Coach? I'm there. Like you got to finish with your hands down. Okay, go back. It's just details, and then you go live, and then you see yourself tackling. You see yourself making tackles in space. Like, wow, like okay, it does make a difference.
Got time for one last one. Go ahead, Kirk.
Yeah, Chris, can you name 1 or 2 players that have really shined and stood out in camp, and they just look poised to kind of have a breakout year this season?
Man, it's a few guys. I would say Bijan Robinson. Running back Bijan Robinson. Looked pretty good running the ball. You know, he's a hard runner, runs behind his pads. Shifty guy. Can make you miss in space, can, you know, fit in tight spaces, will run you over. You know, he's definitely a guy I look forward to seeing playing this year. And Chris Adamore, you know, you guys seen flashes of him last season, you know, coming off the bench when guys went down and things like that. And, you know, he looked really good during camp, and I can't wait to see him play as well.